I'm Phil from PDQ Merchant Enterprises and the ATM Mastermind group page, and I'm here today to talk about putting an ATM in a bar or a bar and grill or a nightclub. So I saw a bar and I thought I'm going to stop in to see if they have an ATM. So I walked in and I found out they serve food there and there wasn't an ATM. So I ordered a sandwich and sat down, and I noticed that there was no ATM, and they did have some gaming. They had some pool tabs there, so I thought this is going to be a good spot. So I ordered my sandwich, and as my sandwich was being prepared, I was talking to the bartender, hey, how long you been here? And went through the whole spiel, how long they've been there, when's the owner coming? And the bartender, it was a woman, and she said, well, the owner comes in from time to time, very guarded when I started asking questions. Owner comes in from time to time, and I asked him, well, is there a specific day or time? No, just comes and goes. And they said, well, he's the owner, they do what they want to do. And I said, okay, I understand that. And then I went into another question. Well, when do they order their beer, or do they meet with the liquor salesman? And they said, well, I don't know. I just know that they're not here when I'm here. Sometimes they come in, sometimes they're not here. And so I said, okay, fine. And this was like a Tuesday. So then I thought, I ate my sandwich and I left. And I thought, you know what, next week I'm gonna come back. I'll come back on a Wednesday. So I came back on a Wednesday around lunchtime, and it was actually the same bartender. So I asked some of the same questions. Again, very guarded, didn't get anywhere with this bartender. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna come back. I gave it a couple weeks, I'll come back on Thursday. So I came back on Thursday, this time towards the evening, around 6 o'clock, maybe. So a lot of times the bars change hands, the bartenders change shifts around between 5 and 7. So I thought I'll come back, went to eat dinner. It was a different bartender, asked, hey, when's the owner here? You guys, I noticed you don't have an ATM. Is that something that people ask for? She said, yeah, they do ask for it, but I don't know when the owner is here. I've only been here for a couple months. Sometimes the owner's here, sometimes they're not. Okay, fine. I waited another couple weeks, went back. This time I went on a Friday, and it just happened to be a bartender that I knew. This bartender was a manager at a previous bar a couple years ago, and then she left that bar, kind of got out of the bartending business, and then she just came back, and now she's just working one day a week. On Friday, she worked from 11 to 6:30, and she said the owner's here in the morning, every morning on Monday and Tuesday from 8 to 9. And then that owner, he leaves and he goes to he has a full-time job. And he leaves and goes to a full-time job, and then he comes after work, and he comes and he works the bar till 8 or 9 at night, and then he goes home. So she gave me all that information. I said, okay. And she says every Friday he's here. They had a fish fry. They do fish fries on Friday. And every Friday the owner was here. Usually comes in between 6 and 7 to help with the fish fries. Fish fry starts at 4, but the owner is here usually between 6 and 7 and stays to about 9 or 10 every Friday if you don't catch him in the morning on Monday and Tuesday. But the bar is closed, so there would be no way to really casually catch him. So she informed me also that they do have a need for an ATM. They get asked all the time. These owners actually have been looking for somebody to do the ATM, but they don't want to buy their own ATM, but they wanted somebody to do that. So I said, great. And then she says, in fact, if you want, he is not, actually they went on vacation this week, but if you come back next week, I'll be here and I'll introduce you to the owner. And I said, wow, that would be wonderful. So what we did is I came back the next week, the bartender introduced me to the owner, we hit it off real good, we ended up placing an ATM in that bar the next week, and it's been a pretty good account. So it's a lot of times it has to do with networking. Who do you know? If you want to start going after bars in the bar business, it's who do you know? And you always want to try to get to know all the bartenders you can, the managers, because that always helps out. Maybe not necessarily at that place because you already have the location, but later down the road. So when you look at the bar industry and you want to put your ATM in the bars, what you always want to do is you want to start out with what we call a shot. So the S in shot stands for some kind of gaming. Whether it's in a lot of the states they have legalized video poker, so If you see video poker, that's going to be a home run, or the bar is going to change hands, then you have a good opportunity to get in with your ATM for gaming, for legalized poker machines. And then also they do other things depending on the state that you're in. They also have pull tabs, either at the bar or the state runs a pull tab machines or something of that nature. So some kind of gaming, which include video poker, video lottery, pull tabs, either video pull tabs or regular pull tabs, some kind of sweepstakes games, raffles, and in some states they have bingo. So any kind of gaming is usually a big draw for the ATM because people need cash when they want to play, and so that'll drive traffic to your location. So the H stands for hours of operation. The more hours you're open, the greater chance you have to make money in the ATM business. So if the place opens up at 6 and is 6 to midnight, it's not as good as if a place opens up at 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning. Unless you're a nightclub, then you're going to get heavy traction. But a nightclub, most of the time, a nightclub is going to be usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. They're not going to be Monday through Monday like most bars are. So you're going to have to make sure, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to go after nightclubs? Am I going to go after bars? Am I going to go after bar and grills? Am I going to go after shot and beer places? What am I going to go after? Or maybe I'm going to go after all of it. And then every bar has its own identity that you're going to have to figure out if that's going to work for you in your business. Sometimes if you're in a nightclub environment, nightclubs start somewhere between 9 and 10 and they go to 2 to 4 in the morning. Are you going to be able to have a service call at 2:30 in the morning if the ATM malfunctions? That's something that you want to do. If it is and you don't care, then go for it. They do a lot of volume, usually in 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sometimes you want to go for just a shot and beer place where they don't have a credit card machine and they're just strictly cash. O, the O stands for getting to know the bar owner. Okay, how do I do that? Again, what you want to do is you want to start out as a customer. Go into the bar, and I always found out that the bartender or the bar manager or sometimes even owner is not very guarded when you start asking questions about, what's your specials, or you guys have a fish fry on a Friday, or something about their food. Then they're more inclined just to start talking. Then you can initiate a conversation about how long they've been there, who's in charge, and sometimes you're talking to the owner and sometimes you're not, and then you can get that relationship with that bartender and get more information of when the owner is on property and how and do they need, and has anybody talked about an ATM before. And then when you talk to that owner, you will have all the information. You'll know how long they've been there, are they married, are they single, is this their first bar? Do they have multiple bars? You'll get all that information usually from the bartender or the bar manager, and then when you have your conversation, you'll have all your ducks in a row on talking to the bar owner and what basically hot buttons they'll have. And you'll figure out, if they've been looking for an ATM for a long time, you're their solution. If they're not, then you're going to have to start to increase your sales techniques to convince them that that's the best thing to do, is to have an ATM in their property, gives a cash solution for their customers, and they don't have to leave. A lot of times the bar owners they're okay with sending them down the street, and you're going to go through your spiel of how that's not necessarily the best thing to do, is send your bar customers away. And T, taking credit cards. When you go to the bar and you order food or you order a drink or whatever you're going to order, when you go to pay, you're going to always pay with a credit card, because you might find out that they don't take credit cards, and then again, that's a home run. And if they don't have any gaming and maybe they don't open up till 3 in the afternoon, it still might be beneficial if they don't take credit cards. But if they do, you'll have to make that decision if you want to go in. But a lot of times now with the Square device, you will look around for a credit card machine. You might look at their POS. You'll notice that they're not taking credit cards, and so you go to pay with a credit card, and then somebody comes in with a tablet and one of those little Square devices, and they run your credit card. And then at that time, you'll have to make a decision is this going to be beneficial for my ATM business to be involved with this bar owner or not? So when you deal with the bar industry, I want you guys to always think of shot, and that way you'll have a shot of getting your ATM in the bar. If any of these tips are helpful, we have an ATM Mastermind group page called the ATM Mastermind Group, and you guys can subscribe to that for more tips and tricks of the ATM business. A lot of people started asking us, hey, do you have a program? Can you help us out? I've been teaching people for over 20 years how to put ATMs in bars and how to be in the ATM business, and we just thought, you know what, it might be a good idea to start doing it online. So we're coming up with a program. So look for a program about to be released very shortly. If you like this video, always remember to like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Again, this is Phil from PDQ Merchant Enterprises and the ATM Mastermind Group page. Thank you very much.